everybody, what's up, how's it going? Thanks for watching, thanks for being here. Welcome, this is Sean. I do sneakers, I do travel, and everything in between. It's an Air Jordan episode, right? What am I doing wearing non-Jordan stuff? Oh, hey, look. We have this. Yeah, I got a Jordan t-shirt lying around. Let's throw this on. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now wait a second, we gotta change the hat too. Alright, that looks pretty good. That's an Air Jordan Wings logo hat. I'd like to thank Larry, my man from Michigan. And that's a Be Like Mike shirt. Looks pretty good, we're ready to go. Welcome to the episode. It's an Air Jordan episode. We're going to talk about 3 sneakers in particular. The Air Jordans 1, 4, and 11. It's a trivia episode. Useless information you probably don't need. But hey, we love sneakers, and sometimes that means we have to embrace anything and everything that comes with the sneaker. That includes the history and the background, right? I'm no historian. I'm no super Jordan expert. Not by any means, but I'm a guy who loves Jordans and sneakers in general, that I care enough to find out about the history and the background, right? And this is what this episode is all about. Here we go, we're starting with the Air Jordan 1. So the AJ1 came out in 1985, designed in 1984 by a guy named Peter Moore. He's the same guy who designed the Air Jordan 2 and the Nike Dunk. Before 1984, before the Air Jordan 1, Michael wore a Nike shoe called the Nike Airship, and look at the sneaker, it looks very much like the Air Jordan 1. So Michael started wearing the Air Jordan 1s in 1985, and the Air Jordan 2 didn't come out until 1987. You might be wondering what happened in 1986, right? There's a 1-year gap. Jordan wore the AJ1 from 85 to 87 because he got injured on his second year. Yep, on the 3rd game of his second season as a professional basketball player, he injured his tarsal navicular bone. That's a bone in the foot. And because of that, he didn't play. Nike didn't release the Air Jordan 2 in 1986. They moved it a year after. They released the 2 in 1987. Air Jordan 1s today are super red hot. They're difficult to acquire. The OGs are so difficult to acquire. There's the mids, but people don't pay as much attention to the mids as the OGs, the high tops, right? They're difficult to acquire, and every colorway that comes out, they sell out in hours. But did you know that, if you're an old head, you'll know that in the mid-2000s, that was a bad time for Jordans, I would guess. The retros were they were bad. Poor quality, paint stains, and bad quality of leather. I'll give you an example of Jordans I bought in 2007. It came in this huge-ass double-decker box. Yes, it's the Legacy collection. It's the Air Jordan Old Love, New Love. Great-looking box here. Let's get to the sneakers. This is the Old Love. It's a black toe, obviously, with a red, white, and black. That's a mid. These are nice for the time, but they pale in comparison to the quality of today's Jordans. This is called the Old Love because Michael's Old Love is basketball, and you'll call something old when you have something new. Therefore, the New Love, which is this sneaker, the black and the yellow. The New Love refers to Michael's love for motorcycle racing. That is the New Love. So together, here's what they look like. Moving on to the next set of Air Jordan trivia, let's go to the Air Jordan 4. The 4 was released in 1989, and it's common knowledge that the 4 was designed by Nike's greatest designer. Well, he's probably the greatest shoe designer of all time, Tinker Hatfield. Yep, Tinker Hatfield. He also designed a 3. He designed a 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. the Air Jordan 20, the Air Jordan 23, the Air Jordan 2010, the Air Jordan 29, and the Air Jordan, those Air Jordans. He also designed the Air Max 1 and the Air Trainer. Whew. The Air Jordan 4 is also the first Jordan that had a global release, right? I remember seeing the Air Jordan 4s for the first time when I was a little boy. My classmate had one, and when I saw it, I was just blown away. It was the black cement colorway, and I said, these Jordan 4s look awesome. But wait, I've never seen an Air Jordan 3 ever. The 4s came out, I didn't even see a 3. And that's the answer. It's because the 4 was the first Jordan that had a wide global release. Going back to Tinker, the great Tinker Hatfield, did you know that Tinker Hatfield was an elite athlete before he became a shoe designer? Isn't that awesome? In school, he was an all-state selection in basketball and football, and later on he did track and field, and he set the school's pole vault record. Absolutely amazing. And our final bit of trivia on the Air Jordan 4 has to do with the 2019 release. Did you know that the Nike Air on the back tab, particularly the Nike and the swoosh, is off-center? Take a look at that. That's the coolest feature of the shoe, if you ask me. We now go to the Air Jordan 11, easily one of the most iconic designs and silhouettes of all time. These sneakers released in 1985, designed by Tinker Hatfield, yet again. So Michael came back from retirement, the first retirement. He came back in 1995, and he wore the Air Jordan 10s, alright, because the 11s still weren't in production. And in May, during the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Orlando Magic, he wore the Concords. That was the first time the Air Jordan 11 was seen by the world, right? But did you know that he wasn't supposed to wear the 11 because Tinker and the guys at Nike said they weren't ready for production? We didn't want people to see it yet. But Michael was stubborn. He loved the design so much. He loved the sneaker so much. He had to wear the 11s. Now people went crazy. What are these Jordans? Where can I buy them? Why aren't they at the stores? I don't see them on the Nike walls. So it was crazy, right? In that same series, Game 2, he came back wearing these Concords, the shoes everybody went crazy about, but he changed his number, his jersey number, from 45 to 23. He went back to 23 because he somehow believed that 23 was, he wanted to be in his element again. And you know, that's what he believes, and if you believe in something so strongly, it is the reality. So Game 2, wore the Concords, but he went back to his jersey number 23. Alright? That was a strange series. And in Game 3, he wore Penny Hardaway's sneakers. He wore the black Penny Hardaways because the ruling at the time was you had to wear the team colors. And the shoe assignment, the shoe assignment as far as colors are concerned, is black. The Concords are black and white, but they're dominantly white, right? So he had to wear the pennies. It was strange. That was Game 3. In Game 4, this is when the Air Jordan 11 Space Jams came out. The black Jordans with the hits of blue. They weren't called the Space Jams yet because the movie had not been produced and shown. But eventually, when the movie came out in 1996, that's what he wore. The Jordans of Game 4, he wore that in the Space Jam movie. Get it? And going back to the Concords, the original colorway of the Air Jordan 11, the world first saw these on Michael's feet in May of 1995. But Nike, Air Jordan brand didn't start selling until November of the same year, 1995. So we all had to wait 6 months before we could actually buy the sneakers. That's one of the most beautiful sneakers of all time. And guess what? I haven't even worn these. There you go. I hope you enjoyed it, whether you're a Jordan hit or not. If you love sneakers, you probably love Jordans. And my hope was that I gave you information, useless, but good to know anyway. Because part of loving the sneakers is appreciating the legacy and the history behind the sneaker. Do you have Jordan stories What are your most memorable Jordans? What are your first Jordans? Let me know in the comments. Hit me up. Let's have a conversation. I'd also like to thank you for watching. Sincerely, thanks for hanging with me. If you're not a subscriber yet, please consider subscribing. I think you're gonna like it here. And if you've been with me from the very beginning, man, I thank you. We've hit a milestone. We've hit 4K. We're already at 4.2 as of the publication of this video, and yeah, we've given away stuff, and that's just my way of returning the love back. We've given away a Vans Skate High sneaker. We've just recently announced the winner of our Air Force One. I've given away a hat. We've given away a Vans Skate High, another pair of Vans Skate Highs in collaboration with a Souse, Carlo Ople. I've given away an Air Jordan 32. And we're doing another giveaway. We're gonna do a 7K special. I haven't quite figured out what sneaker to give away, but it's definitely gonna be sneakers, a t-shirt, and a cap. That's all the time we have for this episode. Before we go, I'd like to remind you that your value as a person is not measured by what's on your feet. Be kind, that's more important than sneakers. I'll see you next time.